Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
Welcome to Rekt Reviews, movies and entertainment analysis using the latest in beer goggle technology. And here are your dubiously qualified hosts, Erik, Paul, and Christopher.
Hello, and we're back with another episode of Rekt Reviews.
Hi, Paul.
How's it going, Erik?
It's going well.
And how are you, Chris? Chris?
Speak up.
Chris, where are you? Oh, you're not here. You betrayed us at the last moment. Abandoned to go hang out with your family like they're so special.
Yeah. Maybe they're watching a movie together.
Actually, yeah.
Maybe he's doing some field work for us.
Yes, because we've learned that family is important from the movie we're reviewing this week.
Black Mass. Yeah, we said we were going to watch Black Mass, but
We lied.
we didn't watch it. I think, was it Chris that took the bullet on that one and said it was really, really bad?
I think he said it was bad. I assumed it was bad just from watching just from the trailer.
I actually haven't seen anything on it. I just know it's Johnny Depp and some makeup.
Yeah. I don't know. It didn't look like much of anything to me, just a bunch of mobby violence, and I don't know. I wasn't.
I've seen Goodfellas. I like Goodfellas.
Oh, I love mob movies when they're good and when they're directed by Martin Scorsese. When they're not, who knows? This one isn't, I assume, no.
It's not directed by Martin Scorsese, I know that, but yeah. I have not heard a lot of positive things about it. I will probably get around to watching it at some point when it comes out on Netflix or something like that.
And I'm not a big Johnny Depp fan either. Maybe not so much, not a Johnny Depp fan as just not so much his usual kind of whimsical, fantasies kind of stuff that he does.
Can you name the last good Johnny Depp movie?
It's
tough.
Edward Scissorhands.
Oh shit, that's like
that's cold.
That is.
I'm sure he said.
What is that? Mid-90s? Wow. Man. Yeah,
No. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. That was bad.
Fear and Loathing. That was probably around 2000, somewhere around in there, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he hasn't made a good movie in a while. Was it Mordecai or Mordecai?
Mordecai? Oh yeah. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I know that one looked bad, but I feel bad I like Johnny Depp, but man, I don't get excited for when he's in a movie nowadays.
Well, maybe you're not exactly the target audience.
That could be, but I don't know. It would be nice to get excited about him again.
Yeah, he does all right for himself, I think.
Oh, I'm sure he's still raking in Pirates money. But anyways, as we like to do here on air is drink. So what are you drinking over there, Paul?
I am drinking Angry Orchard Green Apple Hard Cider.
Have you had that one on air before?
No. I think the past two episodes I was doing wine.
Wine? Okay. All right. So you moved over to cider, right?
Moved over to cider, yeah, because me and Erik are both recovering from colds this week, so I decided to go a little lighter. I wasn't going to drink anyway, but this is a tradition now.
Yes, our voices may sound a little funky, but what can you do?
And what are you drinking?
I am not keeping it local this time. However, I'm keeping it seasonal with a little Dogfish Pumpkin Ale.
There you go. Nice.
Because it is. I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for it not to be hot. Ready. And I'm starting with my drink of choice here.
It's actually gotten a little nicer now. It's not so baking. We're in San Diego, and it's been ridiculously hot for 2 months now. We're in a drought, which is bad enough, but it's like a drought we had 95-degree weather for just days on end.
And high humidity, which is not what you sign up for when you come to San Diego.
Yeah, it's unusual, and no one is ready for it because, most people don't have air conditioning.
Nope, I don't.
I don't, and you just suffer.
Yeah, I had to cry myself to sleep.
for cool yourself with your own tears.
That's the only way to do it.
Well, that's a good segue because crying
is a fundamental part of life, Paul.
Yes, and a very important emotion, which is lesson we learned by watching the movie we're reviewing this week, which is Inside Out.
Yeah, Pixar's latest animated feature.
What did you think of it?
I loved it. I thought this was a great movie.
I did too.
Yeah, so it's going to be two grown men gushing over a cartoon for the next little bit. So buckle down, kids.
Well, it's a good thing Chris is not here because he would probably be crying already.
Probably. Oh, we don't have any vape news. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's true. It's probably better that he's not here to tempt me with his vape because I got a sore throat and they'll probably put me in a coma right now.
I just get excited about hearing the flavors of those things because they have ridiculous names.
Yeah.
Much like craft beer has ridiculous names too. But anyways, yeah, Inside Out, man, what a great movie.
Really good movie. The awesome thing about Pixar and kind of, I guess one of the things that made them so popular is they have always this multi-layered approach where you could be a kid and be super entertained about everything, and then they have all this stuff for adults that will go over the kid's head, but they're not going to miss it.
Right.
But if you're a parent watching it with your kid or just growing up watching it on your own, it's very dense. Especially this one because there's one scene where I was like, damn, I can get an MBA to get this part where they're in the, what was that where they thing with the danger sign,
the world of abstraction or whatever.
Yeah,
like the abstraction thought. Yeah.
We'll get to that later. I got some notes on that. I had to write down all the stages of that.
Oh, good. I'm glad you have that.
I do. I was like, I gotta take notes.
That was a great scene. But
yeah, that was dense. I had a hard time following it. I don't know what a 10-year-old is going to do with that information.
Yeah, this is. You could almost argue this movie's more for adults than it is for children.
Yeah.
But
a lot of very kind of deep psychological analysis and theory in there.
Definitely not for the 5-year-old crowds or 6-year. You would want. I would assume you'd want your kid to be about what Riley's age was. It was around 11.
Yeah, I guess so. I wonder what it would be like to be a kid to see that movie. Yeah,
I have friends with kids, but they're all too young for this thing. It's 5 and under. So, yeah, I would be you hear people gushing about this movie all over the internet, but I don't know how to find what the 10-year-olds on the internet are thinking about this movie. I don't know how you query search up 10-year-olds' thought on In and Out or Inside Out.
You're usually not advisable to go on the internet and look for kids.
Yeah, you're probably
kid chat rooms.
You're probably on a watch list when you do that. So yeah, that's probably a bad idea. Yeah. I just want to know, officer, what they thought of the movie. That's all. But man, yeah, great movie. This was directed by a fellow by the name of Peter Docter, who is he's been with Pixar for a very, very long time. Maybe from the beginning, I don't know. But he also directed Up and Monsters, Inc. And I think he wrote WALL-E.
Okay.
Or
nice.
Help us. So he's definitely no stranger to Pixar. And you could definitely say this is one of the more emotionally hitting Pixar movies, which is kind of reminiscent of Up because that one's pretty heavy too.
Yeah.
So he definitely likes the tears.
Yes, he likes the.
He wants the feels.
I gotta admit, I got choked up at the end of this movie. A grown man, almost burst out.
Grown up.
Almost grown up. So I guess let's kind of dive into it. So we got the Riley, who is the human host, and we have all her emotions that. These kind of characters inside her head. We have Joy, who runs the show, who is
Amy Poehler.
Oh, that's the one thing never mind.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to jump the gun here. I loved Amy Poehler as the voice, though. I thought she was perfect.
Right, yeah, so I forgot to look up. I was recognizing a few voices on there, but I forgot to see who cast all the voices, but I guess you know that one. So we had Joy, we have Sadness.
Sadness is... I think her name's Phyllis Smith. She's from The Office. She's Phyllis on The Office.
Oh, okay. The big girl.
Yeah.
Nice. We have Fear, who always gets himself into all sorts of trouble.
Fear, that's Bill Hader from SNL.
Okay.
I don't know if you know who he is, but...
Don't think so. Then we have disgust.
Disgust is Mindy, also from The Office and the Mindy Project.
Okay.
Which I forget her last name, so I apologize for that.
Disgust, who was also, she was kind of taking on sarcasm and bitchiness. She was kind of a few things, but I guess they all stem from disgust.
Comes from a solid place. Yeah.
And, of course, the star of the emotional show is anger.
Anger. Lewis Black, of course.
Lewis Black.
Perfectly cast for that.
That's amazing. This is awesome.
I just learned that all the characters in the head were shaped or like purposely shaped, like
after
the look.
After the look of the person who's voicing them?
No, just like certain things. Like disgust looks like broccoli because Riley finds broccoli disgusting, and anger is the shape of a brick for some reason. I don't know why it was a brick, an angry red brick. And joy is a star, and fear.
She kind of looked like Tinkerbell.
She had a little tink going on. Yeah. It's the Disney influence, I guess.
Yeah.
And fear was a nerve, like your nerves. Yeah, so that's why he was kind of weird looking.
Synaptical.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So a little tidbit there. So we learned.
Cool. So yeah, we jump into it and we kind of start learning how Riley's mind operates. And when she's born, she's an infant, and really the only emotion starting out is joy. Joy of being alive. And you got the console in the headquarters that kind of interacts with what the human is doing. And in the beginning, when she's just born, it's just one button that, an emotion presses the button and the kid laughs. And as the movie goes on and the emotions get more complex, the console gets more complex. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. It's Yeah, was it a cry button? I can't remember. Was it?
I think it's just a button of emotional expression, and depending on which emotion, whoever's hitting it. So then sadness gets in and starts hitting it, and Riley starts crying.
Right.
And then we kind of see how the whole machinery works, and everything that happens to the child creates this memory ball. That kind of gets stored away and end up forming the person's personality. Yeah,
and then you have like your normal memories and you have your core memories.
And you have the core memories, the important ones.
Yeah, like it's in the the Darth Vader-y Emperor, whatever thing that rises up, and you have like 5 or 6 that you can put in there. The special ones.
The special ones. So any kind of special life-altering events or something that defines your outlook on life that will form a core personality and form an island of personality.
Oh yes, the islands of personality.
The islands, so she had a family island and kind of like a goofball island that was her joking nature.
There was Honesty
Island, Hockey Island, right?
Hockey Island. Oh.
that one's expendable.
Yeah, who wants that? That was. Yeah, I mean, I know, like, the family they grow up, or she grows up in Minnesota, where I presume they play hockey because it's cold, and then they move to San Francisco later on. Like, who plays hockey? Seriously, like, who plays hockey?
I don't know. In Minnesota, they probably do.
Yeah, but they probably play other stuff, too. Like, hockey? I'm supposed to care about hockey?
I don't know. I just went with something.
I don't know. I mean, it was cool to see like a girl character playing a sport, I gotta say.
Yeah. So anyway,
Islands of Personality, though. I just wanted to say real quick, since this is all representing who she is, what is the core of Paul? What is Paul's 5 islands of personality in there?
My core one. What are the islands?
Yeah. What do you have? 5 islands floating around in there?
Yeah, I have a Guitar Pedal Island.
Guitar Pedal Island. All right. Where you step on things and things go wah wah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I could hang out on an island where you do that.
I can spend all day there sometimes, just running patches in and out. Yeah. What's yours?
Oh, geez. There's Beer Island, because
Beer Island.
beer and food. Can we just put them both together? It's just like a gluttonous little island of filth where you just eat
kind of like
and
an
drink.
Oktoberfest island.
Yeah,
There's-
there you go. What
there's
you wear
Wiener
later
Schnitzel and
Yeah,
Lederhosen Island.
eat some pretzels. Yeah, that sounds good. I
There
get
you go.
behind that. There's Sleep Island, because I love sleep, where you just can go and you nap. It's all nice and cloudy and fluffy. That would be nice. Yeah, I like sleep and beer.
Sarcasm Island. Oh,
You have sarcasm.
so it was interesting. So you kind of they kind of present it as your personality is made up of these kind of core memory derived objects. So and when Riley is a kid, all the memories are kind of separated. Like there's a joyous memory, there's a sad memory, there's a disgusting broccoli memory.
Right, they're all like colored different. Like all the spheres are the color of whatever the character is.
Right. So anger is red, disgust is green, fear. She's got a
Sorry, colorblind people, but it was a fun little nice thing to notice.
So she is starting out. Her life is pretty dope. She's playing hockey with her parents. Or she's got a good, loving home, lots of attention, a lot of good memories, a lot of fun. And then her dad apparently is starting a business, and they're forced to move to San Francisco. And she gets uprooted and has to move to a strange city. And that's where things start going wrong.
Much like for anybody, I guess.
Yeah. I guess a pretty common thing for.
I was just
for a
in San
kid.
Francisco, yeah, and if I moved there, it would be a nightmare. Have you? Also, like, one thing unrealistic about this movie,
What?
they moved to San Francisco. They actually found a house in San Francisco.
Yeah.
San Francisco is crazy. You can get a one-bed studio apartment for like $3,500. Like
I saw this article on Vice.com the other day where there's this dilapidated shack that's like literally just a disgusting thing that's falling apart that's being sold for like $350,000.
yeah, it's bananas. San Francisco's bananas.
Oh,
so.
whatever. It's an
I don't
animated
believe you
movie.
movie.
There's
no
a
one's
lot,
moving to San Francisco.
there's a lot of make believe. If you can handle Bing Bong, you can handle
Bing
someone
Bong.
moving into San Francisco.
Bing Bong is more realistic than moving to San Francisco right now.
So it's interesting. Joy, the character and the emotion, seems to be running the show in Riley's head. She's the boss. She's the super ego.
Yeah,
I
she's
guess.
essentially Riley.
Yeah.
She is the voice of Riley.
Well, she is Riley, but she's also kind of, I guess in Zen philosophy, they talk about like the observer, like whatever, like the real you is. That's kind of watching you from some detached point. That's
right,
that's
and like every character had that. Like when you briefly go into like the dad's mind, like it's actually anger running the
yeah, I
show. So
noticed
it's like
that too.
I was like, what the hell's going on there?
So that was an
He comes from a place of anger.
that was a very interesting point I noticed as well. Her parents. So at first, in the movie starts out, and you think that Joy, okay, that's like your super
Everybody's
ego.
Joy, right?
But I guess what happens is, depending on your life and your predisposition, a
People get
certain
promoted.
emotion might end up being the dominant one. So yeah, the dad, it's anger. In mom, it was sadness.
Right. What's going on there?
Which at first I thought was, I guess her mom was depressed or something, or regrets, marrying this tool.
Obviously, he's angry all the time.
Yeah, it's
Wouldn't you
angry all
regret
the
it?
time. But I guess, this jumps ahead a little bit, but, when you kind of learn later on in the movie what the role of sadness is, it kind of makes more sense.
And all these characters, all these little emotions in your head, or in this movie's case, are like characters. Like even Joy is sad at times. Like she gets surprised. She has reactions that are not always joy, because that wouldn't make much sense.
Right. Yeah.
So you can have anger running the show and then him still be,
He
a
can
decent guy.
chill sometimes, yeah. And Joy, she spends a lot of time worrying and fretting about keeping things happy and keeping everything upbeat and make sure all the memories are happy.
Yeah.
Which is really where things start running into trouble, is when was it before the school incident or after? Where Riley's mom is asking her, you got to, stay positive, be happy. Your dad's having a hard time. We're having a hard time. Just, try to.
Yeah, I think that was after.
That was after.
I think that was after. Yeah.
Okay, so the school scene was pretty brutal.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You didn't grow up in the States, right? Or,
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Well,
you moved around though, or something?
Yeah, I moved from the Soviet Union when I was 10.
Okay.
And the rest of the time. So I kind of, I could relate.
So you can relate. So you moved at 10 and Riley's 11, so...
Yeah. It was about, yeah.
And it's way more of a culture shock for you, going from, Russia.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was pretty relatable. I wasn't put on the spot exactly the same way, I guess, the way she was. But she melts down.
Mm-hmm.
And was that... Did she melt down? At what point does joy and sadness kind of disappear? Or they get sucked out the tube?
I think it's before she melts down, right?
What I forget what precipitated that. How did they? Oh, she was trying to. She kept trying to get sad and touching balls.
A core memory, and she's like, no, and they scattered. And then,
right. So so Joy realizes that any memory that sadness touches starts turning blue and becoming a sad memory, and she freaks out because she thinks her role is, the whole point of everything is to keep everything happy all the time. So she does not let sadness touch any balls. They got, first day of school at a new place. It's a big day. It's going to be important. So she draws a circle around sadness. Like, stay in the circle. Don't move. Don't touch anything.
Crazy sadness. She's just like a child wanting to touch everything.
And that really is a metaphor for repression, is when you can't, express your feelings of sadness. You're trying to pretend everything is all right. That's their repression. That's kind of fun how they...
I should have just got sadness drunk. Have a good time. Take her out to the dock, meet a sailor.
Meet a sailor?
I don't know. Sadness needed to get laid is all I'm saying.
I think sadness is technically also 11 years old. So I don't know. This isn't Romeo and Juliet.
No, I guess not. I guess, yeah, that comes into creepy territory.
Sadness just needs to do sadness. So
maybe play some marbles. You already drew the circle.
Right. And there's all those memory balls. Oh, she makes her read manuals.
That's right.
I
would be sad, too, if you got stuck.
got stuck reading manuals.
Oh, my gosh.
So then sadness starts touching core memories, and Joy freaks out, and they end up just scattering all of them and spilling them and getting sucked out of headquarters and falling out into the long-term memory storage.
Which was kind of a nice joke. I gotta say, the maze of just the aisles and aisles of like all these memories on the walls.
Mm-hmm.
And then them running the people like saying, do we need these?
That was great. When the memories start fading, it kind of start turning gray. This cleanup crew comes and they just suck them up and they throw them into the abyss to be lost forever.
That was... this movie's so imaginative, man.
It was great.
God, I love it.
With the cell phones, I don't need to remember this phone number. It's in my phone.
Right.
It's out of here.
And one of my favorite, like when Joy was talking to them, they're like, yeah, sometimes we like to like shoot up this jingle up to the main brain.
The gum commercial, just for no reason. It'll just come up.
The ongoing gag
of
the entire movie. I thought it was pretty it's a little punny, but it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And of course that made Anger very happy when he heard the gum song.
Yeah, Anger just blows his lid all the time and just starts pulling levers, throwing outbursts. So basically, Riley completely humiliates herself in school.
Yes. This is what happens when Joy's not at the helm and you have disgust, fear, and anger running the show.
Oh, so actually that was the point where...
That's why she melted down.
That's why she melted down. That's why sadness started touching all the core memories, because Riley starts telling the teacher and all her classmates that she just moved here, and then she starts saying how it's sad and she misses her friends and hockey, and she just melts down in front of these kids. And
Did you ever melt down in school?
Not like that, no. I don't think so. If I have, I must have repressed it.
It's not a core memory of, at least in your brain.
Repression Island.
Repression.
So joy and sadness are out of headquarters. They're kind of lost in the wilderness of long-term memory. So then her personality is left to be run by fear, disgust, and anger, which is
the three amigos. Yes,
which makes for a very destructive combination. She starts lashing out at her parents. Which is the scene at the dinner table when they ask her how her day is, and she's doesn't really can't really pretend like it was good. That's when you start get to see inside the head of the parents. Yeah,
which was a nice guy. I love in the dad's brain, like they're watching hockey.
Oh yeah,
like they're not even they're just totally tuned out and just.
And the mom was like, if he makes that stupid face again.
Oh, such good stuff.
Yeah, hilarious.
Good on you, Pixar.
So, that was one of Lewis Black's epic anger meltdowns is when she it's actually anger versus anger. The dad anger is running a show and he's ready to put his foot down, because the girls the
standoff. Yeah,
it's a standoff, and Riley's anger is also ready to start pulling levers, and things come to a head, and there's a big blow up, and they yell at each other, and she storms off to her room, grounded.
Which is a weird thing to do to a kid in a new city. You can't go out. Good, you're not going to go out anyways.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Just go to your room. It's not really.
She still gets the laptop though.
That's right. We'll be back in a few short minutes to finish off talking about the rest of the movie. You're listening to WSRadio.com, the worldwide leader in internet talk. This is Rekt Reviews. We'll be right back with more Inside Out.
Thank you for listening to WS Radio. Improve your business and your life with useful information from experts and thought leaders. WS Radio is radio with ROI.
Black MP Living Water is a revolutionary drink for athletes and people alike. All natural, organic sports performance beverage that contains humic and fulvic minerals, naturally occurring electrolytes, first generation SBO probiotics, alkaline water with stable pH of 10. Athletes need solid nutrition. Black MP is the answer. Designed by athletes, for athletes. Train hard, eat clean, drink Black MP. Just visit the website blackmp.net. Use promo code CSKeys to get a very special discount.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
Besides the hard work of our incredible WS Radio staff that has decades of experience in the broadcast industry, one of the reasons WS Radio sounds so good is we use Orban technology. We are not alone. Over 50,000 professional broadcasters can't be wrong. From radio, TV, streaming to hardware and software, Orban has been supplying the broadcast industry for nearly 30 years. Great customer service and continued R&D separates Orban from the rest. Learn more at Orban.com.
Do you want to be a professional coach? Are you in business trying to make a real difference with people you manage or work with? Have you started a coaching practice that isn't quite getting off the ground? Get the skills you need to be a successful coach today with the Coaches Training Program from Accomplishment Coaching. The Coaches Training Program will show you how to help others focus and be more fulfilled. Whether you want to improve your company's bottom line or create a thriving coaching practice, Accomplishment Coaching can give you the distinctions and practices you need to coach others effectively today. Accomplishment Coaching has spent 6 years developing a cutting-edge coaches training program that will have you ready to coach people professionally in just 12 months, and you don't have to take time off work to do it. To find out more about the coaches training program, just call 1-888-548-6813. That's 1-888-548-6813.
Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
Welcome to Rekt Reviews, movies and entertainment analysis using the latest in beer goggle technology. And here are your dubiously qualified hosts, Erik, Paul, and Christopher.
There is no Christopher. It's not true.
He actually just texted me.
He did? What'd he say?
He said he's watching Jurassic World again.
Is he?
Yeah. 6 times wasn't enough.
It's not going to make it better, Chris.
No.
There's, I guess, more teeth.
Maybe this time they'll find a worthwhile plot. Probably not. Jurassic World's bad, guys. Don't go see it. You already saw it. Don't go see it again.
Apparently everyone saw it based on how much money it grossed. But
speaking of which, I wanted to make a point real quick. Inside Out made, this is worldwide as of right now, $775 million.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
Compared to how much of Jurassic Park? What was Jurassic Park? $1.5 billion or something?
It was it was something crazy like that. Minions, which was the other animated release this year, which neither one of us have seen. All that I know about Minions is like the marketing campaign behind it, and that's hard. It kind of disgusted me, so I have zero interest in seeing this movie. But it's up to like 1.1 billion. So,
wow,
yeah,
that's Jurassic Park money. Jurassic World.
It's definitely probably up. It's probably not up there as much, but yeah, it's definitely for the cost to make it too, which was like 70 million or something like that. So it was a lot cheaper to make. It was a lot cheaper to make than this movie, Inside Out, too. Which, I mean, granted, like I said, I haven't seen it, but I can't imagine it being anywhere nearly as awesome as this movie is. So, which I don't know. Like, is Minions? I think is it DreamWorks? I think it's DreamWorks.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just
not as good.
Yeah, and I was just trying to figure out why that is, and I feel like those movies like Shrek, and because I've seen a couple of Shrek movies, I haven't seen all of DreamWorks animated features, but they just do a lot of like gags and easy jokes.
Yeah, I think it's what you said earlier. Pixar, I mean, they have the gags and the jokes and everything too, but they always have this kind of very deep emotional component, like running through their plot, where you're really invested in, like, you know, really there with the character on a pretty deep emotional level, because they kind of do stuff you relate with.
Yeah, you definitely can see yourself as almost any of the main characters in a Pixar movie.
Yeah,
for sure. And it's just, I don't know, like, I feel like they do, like, easy jokes in it. Like, in Shrek, they do, like, a Matrix joke. Like, they do the camera pan thing. It's just, it's like,
obvious.
Yeah, that's funny, I guess. And, like, there was, like, a Cops parody and stuff. It's just like, all right.
Yeah.
So.
Kind of low-hanging fruit, I guess.
Yeah, it's like they go for the easy laugh, which, you know, I can't blame them.
Yeah.
If I was spending that much money, I would go for easy laughs, too, probably. But I really appreciate what the things that Pixar's team brings to the table. Like the dinner scene we were just talking about, like when the dad's tuned out and like the people in his brain are watching
hockey,
and they're like, oh, it's like, oh, she wants something. What is it? It's like, take out the trash.
And he's like, oh, so how was your day at school?
Yeah,
which is already what.
Yeah, it's like everybody knows that moment. That moment's happened to everyone.
Huh?
Yeah, so I don't know. I appreciate the thought that goes into that, and you can still do the easy jokes too, like the like the gum commercial thing popping up every single it's a funny gag. It's definitely not the richest joke in the movie, but if you had those scattered throughout, it's fine. But I don't know. I like the deeper. To me, Pixar hits the deeper meaning stuff.
Yeah,
way stronger than the other one
for sure. And I think you had maybe one kind of bone to pick with puns. So the thing I found out about Erik is he gets infuriated by bad puns. I saw him lose it.
Puns are again it's low hanging fruit. This sounds like this. That's funny. Hey guys, look at the funny word play.
So the one in this movie that was kind of the obvious one was the train of thought, which is kind of an obvious pun, but it's kind of hard not to put it in there if you're taking psychological concepts.
They ran with it. I'll give them that.
They at least used
100% backed that pun.
Yeah, and
it was an integral part of the movie.
Yeah, they used it in the plot. It wasn't just a joke, by the side of the road.
Yeah.
It was integral to the story.
Yeah, when they said it, I rolled my eyes. I will admit. It's train of thought. You guys went there. All right. It's we're there. What are you going to do with it? I'm all right, well, you used it. Okay.
Yeah.
You use it, then fine. But that's no excuse for Donut Touch down the road.
That's right. There's a donut shop around here called Donut Touch.
Donut Touch. See?
And
that's just pitiful.
That's enough to cause a meltdown for Erik when he sees that.
I had about a 5-minute rant in the car about that.
But the train of thought pun was redeemed entirely by when you see one of the contents of one of the cars when they're on it's got a box of facts and opinions, and they get all mixed. They look so similar. It's so easy to mix them up, and Bing Bong. Riley's imaginary friend just spills a couple and he just shoves them into random boxes.
Whatever. Not my problem. So Bing Bong. What did you think of Bing Bong?
At first, I thought he was kind of a weak Jar Jar Binks type character. Who did his voice, by the way? It sounded familiar, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
I want to say his name is Richard Hart.
Okay.
I could be wrong on that. I know the actor. I know his face. He was in Spin City, I think. If you remember that show?
Vaguely.
And Mad About You. He was in that.
He's
done some movie. He's been around forever. You'd probably recognize him if you saw him.
Yeah. Again, so I thought he was maybe a little bit kind of annoying at first, but he became an integral part of the story, a very important part in two ways. And the first is so he's Riley's imaginary friend back from her childhood that she's almost forgotten all about.
Yeah, he was just roaming the halls of long-term memory. He wasn't an actual memory. He didn't jump out of a sphere or anything. He was just
right, which is kind of interesting. He's
that he was just walking around. Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't have imaginary creature friends growing up.
Me neither.
An alligator tail mixed with this beaver, or I don't know. I forget what the different things that he was. But
do you have siblings?
I have an older sister.
I think maybe if I don't know how common a concept that is. I only kind of see it in cartoons or whatever movies. But I imagine if you are going to have an imaginary friend, it's because you're an only child. And you
That's
have
a good point because she is right. I think
she's an only child, and I have a sister, so I didn't. I could always annoy my sister. I didn't need to imagine a friend to write songs. I just go and fuck with my sister all day.
There you go. All right. So, all right, point. Yeah, I didn't love Bing Bong in this movie.
He was probably
the one character that kind of annoyed me, and the outcome to him, you
were happy when he went.
No, it was a sad moment. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I definitely bought it in the moment, but I didn't mind that he was the one that went away.
Yeah,
I guess.
And maybe that was calculated. Maybe. Make him just annoying enough to, when he's gone, you're okay with it. You accept it.
Yeah. If anyone's gonna bite the dust,
yeah,
make it the out of date guy.
So when Joy and Sadness, are wandering around trying to find their way back to headquarters, and the other emotions are running amok. they start destroying the islands of personality.
What's the first one to go? I forget.
It was the goofy one.
The goofball one?
The goofball one.
Oh, the dad was trying to connect with her.
Yeah.
Like,
so the dad feels bad because of yelling at her, and he goes up to her room and he tries to smooth it over and make some goofy faces at her, and she's not having it.
Right.
So that part of her personality is not accessible anymore, so the island starts crumbling. And that was the first, like, really kind of sad part of the movie. I was like, oh, shit, it's getting real. She's never going to be the same again. Like, she's losing her childhood innocence.
Yeah, if it kept going, she would have been a goth.
I know. It was getting...
It turned out bad.
Oh, that was great. There was, at the end, when they were going into, like, when the credits are rolling into everyone's end, and there's that one goth chick that's, like, terrified of being... people are going to find out that she's actually lame.
Right.
She's got the painted hair and everything.
It was Disgust was running her show, I think. Right?
Yeah, Disgust.
Oh, yeah. Those gags at the end,
those are good. Yeah, the dog, the cat.
The dog and the cat, yeah.
And before that, the kid at the hockey rink when he freaks out.
Because the girl's talking to him?
Yeah.
It's like red alert.
Red alert.
Girl. See, again, that's like low-hanging stuff, but man, they earned it by that point.
I don't think that's low-hanging. I thought that was...
I mean, that's like the easy joke, I guess. Like, oh yeah, the awkward teenagers doesn't know how to talk to girls. Yeah, they're freaking out. But the whole movie earned it. Like, it was perfect, yeah.
Yeah. So one by one, her islands of personality start collapsing because she doesn't have access to her joy or sadness, and she's kind of numb and just acting out of like the more primal emotions, fear and anger.
What if you lost your guitar pedal island?
I don't know what I would do.
Harmonica?
I don't know.
No.
Acoustic guitar island.
Acoustic guitar. All right.
There's a lot of songs.
You could start a Nick Cage island. Just an island devoted to Nick Cage.
Chris has one of those. An island of his favorite Nick Cage movies.
Yes. That's an island I never want to see or be a part of.
There's a lot of ripping faces off.
A dark place that I do not want to be part of. Yeah. But anyway, so carry on with this thought. Like they try to take a shortcut through this do not enter place where they enter abstract thoughts.
Oh yeah, this is the part that's a little hard to follow. Oh yeah,
and this is where Pixar really shines for me. Where as we were talking about earlier, like the things you can connect with grown-ups and kids at the same time. Like a 10-year-old is not going to get abstract thought or anything like that, but they can like appreciate like the goofy shapes they come to, like that's funny, like they're a point or a line or whatever. So it's like all that stuff's funny, but as a grown-up, like, oh, this is really, really clever. So you hit both buckets there.
It was kind of like this space for abstract thought that I guess it gets like burned out every once in a while, like once the...
Oh, it flushes?
Flushes. Yeah, because I guess you think about stuff and abstractions, and once you're done with them, they just evaporate, right? But it goes through stages, so Joy, Sadness, and Bing Bong, who they now are hanging out with, who is told him he knows the shortcut back to the headquarters. They get caught in this thing, and
how many times has Bing Bong hung out there, I wonder? It's like, oh yeah, this is fine. I do this all the time. Like he goes and gets messed up in the...
Maybe that's how he ended up being like part elephant and
he stayed a little too long, yeah.
Yeah. So they go through like these 4 stages, and I know it's from some kind of like got to be like a psychology course
all
or something.
All this stuff is based on like like psychology lessons or whatever, like art theorems.
So there's the first part they go through. The first stage is fragmentation or some kind of fragmentation where they break up into pieces. Which I guess when you think about something abstractly first, you will break it into manageable pieces. And again, then deconstruction, which is I guess just farther. So they are kind of broken apart into pieces. Then they become 2-dimensional. So when you kind of go too far into abstraction, you start thinking of things in 2-dimensional.
And you're just a little sheet of paper.
And then figurative, which is... I didn't really get that one. That's when they get really weird shaped.
Was it like the Picasso style stuff?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. Okay. So they barely escape. They get their shape back. And what happens with Bing Bong? Like, oh, they throw away his like magic, the song rocket sled thing.
Wait, that's down in like the. That's just him and Joy, right? Down in the thing, or is that
no? Before that,
in there too?
when you.
I'm sorry, folks. I haven't seen this movie since the summer, so.
But you remember the radio flyer thing with the you sing songs and it rocks. So he sees the crew disposing of it, tossing it overhead, and he's like sad about it. She's like, "Oh, Riley's forgetting about me."
This is after they get out.
Yeah,
right?
after. Yeah. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I was still in the land of abstract. Weren't they like little worms inching forward?
Yeah, but they get out. They find the door and somehow they get out. And so this is an important part of the story because you kind of get to see Sadness's role. Up until this point, she's just like this wet blanket. Like she just like doesn't want to go. She just wants to lie down and be depressed. And every memory she touches turns blue. And Joy's like, "Come on, we gotta go." But at this point, Bing Bong is really bummed out because he realizes he's being forgotten, and he doesn't want to go anymore. He's just too despondent and sad. And Sadness. And Joy can't get him to go. She tries to like cheer him up, right?
Right.
And it's Sadness that sits next to him and is able to empathize. And you kind of start realizing the sadness and empathy are closely related. That you have to be able to feel somebody else's pain and suffering and share it with them. And because she understands him and comforts him, that gives him the strength to get up and go on. And at that point, Joy starts realizing that maybe sadness is not so useless after all.
Which is like the whole point of this entire story which is a very powerful message, I think, to tell kids, is that it's okay to be sad, and being sad is a part of life.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you look at kids' movies all over, it's like the princess fall in love with the prince. You know, it's like love story. Everything's great. So, man, what a great. And I mean, Pixar does this time and time again. Like, just what a great story to tell children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially like I guess I'm sure it's changing a lot now, but kind of American culture traditionally always kind of you're trying to put a positive face on. I guess probably other cultures as well. Stay positive. It's going to be okay. Just don't give in to. But
yeah, it's like we got pills for that, man. You don't need to be sad.
That's right.
When you turn 14, you can have the pills, kids. No, it's bad. But I don't know how many other Pixar movies you've seen, Paul. But I mean, Up deals with continuing on after loss and like the baggage of your
I've seen
life,
that one,
and Toy Story 2 and 3, because 3 is just a carbon copy of 2, which just makes me.
I didn't like that one. I did see it.
Yeah, 3. People love 3, man. It's the same thing that 2 already did, and 2 was like a perfect movie. I love Toy Story 2, and like it basically talks about death and being okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
So Pixar hits some heavy topics, and more or less knocks it out of the park, which they did in this case. But like I'm just so happy that there's like. I'd be very curious to see what kids think of it. Like, I can't imagine like a 9 or 10-year-old like wanting to go and like watch this movie like over and over and over again. You know, like you would with the Lego Movie or.
You don't think so?
I mean, there is. It is like an adventure movie. It's like we got to get to point A to point B or whatever, and like stuff happens. But there's not like that spectacle like scene or anything. Like there's not.
Right. It's really more of an idea movie.
It's definitely way more emotional roller coaster than is like a
it would probably be interesting for someone to watch it like a few years later, like if they watch it when they're 10 and then maybe again when they're 15.
Yeah, and that's what that's like probably what I'm assuming what they were shooting for. Like, this is something you can appreciate as a kid on this level, and then when you grow up, it's like, oh, this is what this meant.
And that's that kind of stuff is great. There's a lot of Simpsons, the old Simpsons. It was like that when I watched it as a kid, and I thought it was great. And then I watch it 10, 15 years later as an adult, and there's all these jokes and layers there that I had no idea because
Simpsons is really good about that.
Yeah, it used to be, not so much anymore. I don't think.
I stopped.
Although maybe
after like season 10, it may still be good, but not. Yeah,
I watch it once in a while. It's got ups and downs, but definitely not as great as it was back in the 90s.
Yeah, Pixar is really good at like did you ever watch like Looney Tunes growing up?
Mm-hmm.
Like Looney Tunes is really good for. I mean, it wasn't nearly as heavy as like the stuff that Pixar does, but like adults love Looney Tunes and like kids love Looney Tunes. Like there's stuff for everybody.
Because there's fun zany stuff for kids and unbridled racism for the adults.
Yeah, there is that sort of stuff. But that's not the reason why adults like Looney Tunes.
I argue that it is.
Oh, okay.
Finally, someone's got the balls to say it.
Oh. So did you see any Illuminati stuff in Inside Out?
No, I didn't.
Anger wasn't secretly working for
no
for anybody.
I didn't really find any. Yeah, didn't really find any hidden Illuminati stuff. I don't know.
That's like 3 misses, man. We got to watch a movie with that like has.
We need a Nick Cage movie or something.
Wasn't the Left Behind movie? There's probably some stuff. Is it Left Behind?
I don't know.
The Kirk Cameron movie.
Oh, the whatchamacallit? What's that called?
It's called Left Behind, man. I don't know. I don't know it.
The Rapture.
Yeah, it's about right. Nick Cage didn't make the cut, I don't think.
Yeah. No, I didn't really find any, and I always I think like Disney movies are rife with that kind of stuff. That
really can you give an example? I'm curious.
I would have to watch one. I'd have to watch one. I don't remember offhand. Well, I don't know. Just the whole kind of.
I can't wait to hear you dive into these conspiracy theories things because
we need to.
This is not my world, and I'm very.
Yeah, we need to watch a dirtier movie than Inside Out. Yeah, I didn't really have any kind of problem with it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's not really bad things to say about this movie.
I guess if I would say something that I think like all the kind of the metaphors for the emotions are very cool, but I'm not exactly sure that's exactly. It might be a little bit.
It's super simplified.
Simplified and very kind of.
I mean, the emotions in her head. You would have like a sexuality dude, or you would have all these other.
Well, actually,
things.
The cool thing at the end of the movie, where she's grows up a little bit and. Her emotions start becoming more. She's got like hybrid emotions now, where it's not just
colored things.
It's not just a happy ball and a sad ball. They're kind of like a bittersweet ball or an angry / angry happy ball.
Does
that
happen?
If you have a couple more of those pumpkin ales, you could be happy and angry.
Let's test the science behind it now by how much I can drink.
Yeah. So we're only got a couple more minutes left. We kind of, stopped talking about the plot, but basically, they
get back.
They get back. Joy learns that sadness is just as important an emotion as anything else, and the vital part when she makes that realization is this treasured core memory where Riley
of the Holocaust, which is really weird.
Of when she's she's being cheered with her hockey team, and Joy thinks that's a happy memory, but she rewinds it back and realizes that that it was a sad memory just a few minutes before that Riley was really sad, and because she was sad, all her friends and her family came over to cheer her up and make her feel better. So she kind of learns not to just let sadness do her thing, and that you shouldn't repress it. Otherwise, you just make things much, much worse. So pretty deep, heavy thing for a kid movie.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you know anybody that has kids like the right age for this?
My friends who have kids I think they're a little young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we should hang out with older people that have kids
and ask them what their kids thought of the movie.
Yeah,
they're like
that's better than hanging out with the kids. Go to the playground and start asking kids. Come on, what did you think of Inside Out? Let's talk about it in my van.
What did you think of Bing Bong? Do you like puns, kid?
No, kids don't like puns.
Yeah,
it leads to you opening restaurants called Donut Touch. It's bad.
It seems to be doing fine. It's one of the few businesses still standing year after year. Maybe it's a...
Is it year after year? I thought it was new. Is it not new?
I have no idea. I don't know.
All right. I don't wish the family ill or anything, but man, just rename your store. Call it the Donut Shop, man. Come on.
Hey, they might be a sponsor of this show at some point. Don't antagonize them.
No, they will not be a sponsor.
All right, I guess we're out of time. We've learned that sadness is as important as joy, and that Bing Bong is an imaginary friend. This has been Rekt Reviews. You're listening to WSRadio.com, the worldwide leader in internet talk. We'll be back in a couple of weeks to review another movie. Stay tuned.
Like it.
A podcast or radio show on WS Radio is a great way to create content marketing. Turn prospects into customers into raving fans. Contact Wade at WSRadio.com or call 866-WS-RADIO.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
You may have heard me brag about Progressive Medical Center and just how much they've helped me with my health. And Dr. Goley, one thing that you have helped so many people with is migraines.
Unfortunately, there are millions and millions of Americans who are suffering with migraines and headaches, and they're debilitating because it affects the quality of their life, and they cannot function properly. At Progressive, we get to the root cause because we understand that migraines could be caused by nutritional deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, believe it or not, delayed food sensitivities. And once we determine what the real reason is, we put a plan of action together with medication that we get them off slowly, and we put them on an all-natural approach, and the results are amazing.
Incredible. I mean, there's so many people that can say they don't live their lives with migraines anymore thanks to Progressive Medical Center.
And that's what's exciting and rewarding to us as physicians, because we help our patients take control of their health, and that's why they're living well.
Why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today? Don't live in pain. Don't have migraines anymore. Just go to their website, progressivemedicalcenter.com.
This is your life. Live it well.
Small businesses are the lifeblood of America's economy. Every Thursday, SBA Radio interviews industry professionals and is dedicated to provide small businesses with timely insights and innovations. Visit www.sbaradio.us for details.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Has your business been appified? Are you tired of doing marketing that doesn't deliver results? Mobile apps build loyalty and quality retention. Your app from UPG Mobile puts your business on their mind and at their fingertips. UPG Mobile will give you a custom app highlighting how you are unique, targeting your message, and improving your open rates. Appify your business and amplify your presence with your customers at upgmobilemarketinggroup.com.